All right, welcome back. We're here with Colorado's best attorney to talk about how to collect more money in a car accident case than the total amount of insurance. At first, I'm like, did I say that right?
Doesn't that
more
sound
money
weird?
than,
It sounds
yeah.
really weird. It's actually called a policy limit demand. And I want our viewers to know. So when someone runs into you, let's say you're in a car wreck or if you're hurt on the property of another, someone has insurance and there are limits on those insurance. In Colorado, obviously it's $25,000. That's the minimum that someone has to have. So people could have 25,000 in limits. They can have 25 gazillion, right? Or anywhere in between.
So I always thought that, what the other side's insurance company is going to pay, that is the policy limit. Is that right?
The maximum, you would think that. You would
Okay.
think that the maximum that they would pay are their policy limits. But what if they make a mistake, right? What if the insurance company makes the wrong decision? And so let's look at the scenario. Let's say you get in a car wreck and you have $20,000 in medical bills and the other side's insurance is $25,000. You would call up the other side's insurance company and say, hey, pay me the full $25,000 and I'll go away. You would think that's a no-brainer, right?
Right.
They would pay it. But what if they don't? What if the insurance company comes back and says, you know what, I think it's partially your fault, or I think you exaggerated or you overtreated. I mean, pick the flavor of the day, because insurance companies make up excuses for anything. And they say, nope, not going to pay you that because I think we're going to win at trial. So you're like, great, let's go to trial. So now, let's say you go forward at trial and you get a larger verdict. So let's look at what happens. So here you are. You get a verdict of $75,000. The insurance company comes up and says, oh, we made, our bad. We're going to pay the $25,000. And you, defendant, the guy that we insure, I'm sorry, you have to pay $50,000. Remember, you went to the insurance company and you said, pay me the $25,000.
You gave them a chance, right?
Absolutely. You gave them that chance. And because they took a risk with their insured, now they're insured instead of, if they paid the policy limits, that insured would only have to pay their deductible, $500. But the insurance company took a risk with that money, and now the insured owes $50,000. That insured has a bad faith claim against his insurance company.
What a mess.
Right. So what you do is you go, after you get that verdict of $75,000, you go to the defendant and you say, assign me or give me your claim. And now that you get that claim, the insurance company has to pay the full amount. That's a policy limit demand.
Okay. All right. So let's look at an example. Let's say the other side's insurance pays the $25,000, but you have the $20,000 in the medical bills. Does any of that money go into the client's pocket?
So a good attorney can usually reduce or get rid of all those medical bills that are paid.
Okay.
Remember, there's this law called the make whole law in
Right.
Colorado. And what it says is if you get the full policy limits, it's presumed you are not made whole, and so you don't have to pay back health insurance. You have to give them special notice and so forth. Medicaid and Medicare are different, but this make whole law is very powerful because it says if you get the full policy limits, it's presumed you're not made whole, therefore you don't have to pay back that subrogation.
Huh. So, okay, so what if the other side pays their full policy limit? They're like, there it is, that's it.
Right.
What do you do? I mean, can you get help from other insurance?
Right.
There?
Remember, you have on your car something that's known as uninsured, underinsured. So before you settle with your policy limits from the person that ran into you, you have to give notification to your own insurance company because that person, if they're giving you the full policy limits, they're underinsured. Your car insurance automatically has on uninsured, underinsured, and state minimums are $25,000. If you have multiple cars, even though I know you weren't in those other cars, you can stack those policies. So here's the scenario. Let's say you get the $25,000 and you use the make whole law. You don't have to pay any subrogation back. And you can stack your uninsured, underinsured. So actually, in this scenario, you could get up to $75,000 and you don't have to pay back your health insurance.
Nice. Okay, you called it crazy attorney math. It is hard to keep up with, but
Yeah,
I know
it
he knows what he's talking about. Thanks a lot, Phil. We
You're
appreciate
welcome.
it. All right, and if you have any questions for our legal expert, go to kdvr.com and click on Colorado's Best. You're going to see Phil's photo there. You can click on the photo and send him your questions directly. He takes the time to answer them all personally and confidentially. And to reach Harding and Associates directly, here's his number, 303-762-9500, and you can get a free consultation anytime. You can find him online at hlaw.com.